game of Warhammer 40,000. I'm playing against Stefan, and he's playing his Emperor's Children, and I'm playing with my Necrons. We rolled up Mission G, which is the Ritual, Stalwarts, and Hammer and Anvil. Stefan ended up deploying first. We both had equal amount of... Oh no, I only had one infiltrators, and Stefan had two. I'll quickly go over my list and what I'm bringing, and then we'll go over some new Emperor's Children. On my table side, I have flayed ones. I basically just infiltrated them over onto this side to make sure that any scouting on this side is basically shut down. On this flank, I put a unit of Scorpack Destroyers with the Scorpack Lord. They're running individually. Today I'm running the Silent King, trying him out instead of the two DDAs. Since there's so much stuff that in Deep Strike that I have to basically have some things, blocking off. So here's some Scorpack Destroyers blocking off this other corner. And then here's just where the rest of my castle is, with the unit of Wraiths and two Canipto Thralls, with the Technomancer, the unit of 20 Wraiths that are with... Both of them were within 6 inches of the Silent King, and a Reanimator. But the Warriors have Orokin the Diviner and the Royal Warden over here. Command Barge giving them an extra OC, and has the Res Orb and the Necron Overlord Blade. My Reanimator over here, so it can touch both units. Unit of Ophidians for Uppy Downy. Another unit of Scorpack Destroyers for counter punches. And then Illuminar Xeris over on this flank. Stefan, what do you bring in your Emperor's Children? Oh, also that there are some stand-ins because a lot of the models aren't out yet. And so there's some proxies.
Yeah. So I infiltrated some Tormentors right here. Just going to push you back. If you come after them, I'm happy to hit whatever comes up because I'm trying to kill units. It's my detachment rule. I've got... My Warlord is the Demon Prince with wings. There's another Demon Prince in Deep Strike, actually. So the Warlord has the pink ring. I've got 6 Noise Marines here behind the wall. They should be unchargeable by the Flame ones that are set up over there. Their plan is really to get into this Rhino once it scouts up.
The classic Rhino slingshot?
Yeah, exactly. This Rhino has 2 units of 5 Infractors, each with a Lord Exultant. We've got Lucius the Eternal. He looks suspiciously like a Death Guard unit, but just ignore that. We've got another Rhino here with 5 Infractors and a Lord Exultant. Both of these Rhinos can scout because the units inside them have scout. We've got a Chaos Knight Brigand with a Demon Breath Spear and Chain Cannon and an indirect Havoc Launcher. We have 6 more Noise Marines who will probably also get into that Rhino after it scouts ahead. And then we have 5 more Tormentors who are just touching my home objective and will probably screen for the rest of the game. They also give my objective sticky on my turn. In Deep Strike, I have 6 more Noise Marines. And like I mentioned earlier, I have a Demon Prince with wings.
Yeah, I'm not getting that on the camera. So we roll off for our first turn. Necrons are going first. So we'll see you guys after turn 1. Alright, so we just finished Necron's turn 1. My objectives were containment and establish locusts. So my flayed ones moved towards the middle to contain. To establish. These Scorpacks moved over to this side to do containment. Stefan's scouts was Rhino moved into 9 inches towards the flayed ones, and the other Rhino moved up into that building. The other things that moved was Silent King stood still. My Warriors and such just kind of spread out a little bit to get some more table edge. Illuminar moved onto this side to contain. He is definitely within range of the Brigand, but hopefully we can just make some 4-ups and live. And yeah, Wraiths moved in still into this cluster. We're not really quite moving stuff out quite yet. And yeah, so I got my 6 for contain and my small established locust. We're off to Emperor's Children turn 1. Alright, we just finished Emperor's Children turn 1. Stefan got Storm Hostile Objective, which couldn't really do, so cycled it on first turn. Which then got Established Locust and Secure No Man's Land.
Yeah.
So these Tormentors moved up into the middle. and got into there, and also established Locust into the middle. The Rhino moved up behind this building. The Noise Marines got into the Rhino. The Brigand moved up to go into Luminor Xeris. Basically, Meltas went through. One Melta went through doing 6 wounds. I took 4. And then the Chain Cannon did 2, which I only took 1. So Luminor's got 4 wounds left. Over here on this side, Rhino advanced up. Oh, sorry. Bunch of the, what are they called? Not Tormentors, but the... Infractors got out of the Rhino. Then the Noise Marines got into the Rhino. Rhino advanced over into this corner to shoot at the Flayed Ones. Demon Prince also moved up to do a heroic, basically, protection. The Flayed Ones, like bosses, survived on 1 wound, even with the indirect from the Brigand. So basically, Flayed One lived on 1 wound. And Stefan also chose to do 0 kills, which was pretty good that you...
Yeah, I was hoping to get lucky, get a kill, spend a CP, and get a pledge, but... Flayed Ones.
2 Flayed Ones stupid stuff. So scored 2 points for Establish and 5 points for Secure No Man's Land.
Yeah.
And we're off to Necron's turn 2. Alright, so we just finished Necron's turn 1. No, this was Necron's turn 2. We just finished Necron's turn 2. The Silent King spent a CP to advance up. I guess my missions were Defend, Stronghold, and Assassinate. I held 1 objective at the starting of the turn. My Flayed Ones resurrected 3 models. Illuminor Xeris battle shocked, but he resurrected 3 wounds. The Silent King spent 1 CP to get Assault, and he advanced up an extra 3 inches to get range on, or get sight onto the Rhino. These Scorpax moved up to charge into these guys that came out of the Rhino. Scorpack Lord moved up as well to basically try and get some threats into anything in the middle. My Ophidians dropped down onto the backfield onto this side. My Warriors scooched up and spread out towards the Brigand so that I can try and tie him up into combat. And so that Illuminor, now that he's battle shocked, can't res himself. I had to make sure that he's relatively safe. After my movement, the Stefan rapid ingress this Demon Prince over onto this side to again threaten Illuminor with some impact hits and just blow him up. And my shooting was fine, I guess. I just blew up a Rhino, and that was essentially it. I wounded like a guy in the middle. Charges, my Warriors made an 8-inch charge into the Brigand and then piled into the Demon Prince. I think I ended up losing 5 Warriors, which I just reanimated back in to spread out to try and stop a fallback from the Demon to charge Illuminor. My Scorpax failed a 6-inch charge on this side. My Flayed Ones passed a 6-inch charge. I think I put my Scorpack Lord into the Tormentors in the middle as well, and they failed their charge. I spent a CP trying to go for the 9 inches into these Tormentors, and I got like a 6 on the first time and an 8 on the second. And that was essentially it. My Wraiths made an objective on this side. I took over the middle so that Stefan's only scoring his 5 for primary. And there's some failed charges in here that kind of sucked. But we're off to Emperor's Chosen turn 2. So we just finished Emperor's Children turn 2. Stefan's missions were Bring It Down and Mark for Death. He cycled Bring It Down to get Containment, scoring 5 points on primary. These guys over here, not the Tormentors, but the Infractors moved over to Contain on this side. Demon Prince is just staging and being like a protection piece. Lucius is up against the wall, and these guys are holding this objective, and again are just kind of being a presence. Over here, the Noise Marines and the Infractors got out of the Rhino, and the Rhino moved over to contain onto that side. The Infractors made an objective on the bottom floor here, and these guys all kind of moved and staged up to deal with the Ophidians. The Demon Prince fell back, going over the wall and the objective to land into the middle of the ruins, and made his 9-inch charge into Illuminor. I had to use my Royal Warden once per game to not make him battle shocked, and when he died, I resurrected. Stefan did 6 mortal wounds on the charge. It was way
4 went through.
It was more than 6 on the charge too.
Yeah.
It was 8.
It would have been 10 if there was no limit. Yeah.
And then in combat, I died by 1 extra overkill, so I had to spend the 1 CP to bring Illuminor back. I lost 2 warriors from the Armiger, and nothing in return over there. These Noise Marines shot the hell out of... so starting off, all these Noise Marines all shot and killed these Ophidians. These guys had double set up to deal with the Ophidians if that didn't kill, and also shoot at my Scorpex, because these guys came in from reserves. They shot the Scorpex, killed 1, did 2 wounds to another one. So then these Noise Marines were like, oh, fuck it, we got this. Shot everything into this unit and killed 1 of the wounded guys because I rolled boxcars for my 2 wounds that went through. Stefan just rolled like trash. Everything was 1s and 2s.
Oh, I also failed my mortal wounds from the...
Oh, yeah, the 3 dice.
The abilities, yeah.
So I took that opportunity to resurrect my Scorpex, and of course, after rolling boxcars for my armor saves, I rolled a 5 for my reanimation. So that unit is almost full. So 6 wounds to there. I haven't done my reanimation yet. So Emperor's Children, we got 6 points for containment. He dropped Mark for Death at the end of the game, at the end of the battle round for an extra CP, so he's up to 2 going into the next turn. When you also killed the Ophidians, or the flayed ones, you gave yourself an extra kill token sort of thing. Yep. I'll also mention the Arbinger or War Dog, or whatever the hell it is, shot and killed the flayed ones.
In the center.
Barely.
Just to a wound.
It came down to both Meltas killing them. So I was like, that sucks because I lose basically 5 points from that. But we're off to Necron's turn 3. Alright, so we just finished Necron's turn 3. Things could have went better for Necrons. My reanimation on my Scorpex over here was only 1, so only 1 guy came back on with 1 wound. Illuminor healed all the way back up to 8. The Silent King and the Scorpack Lord moved into the middle. The Warriors fell back and basically made an aura around the Demon Prince and the Armiger. Wraiths moved over as well to take back over to my objectives onto this side. These Scorpack Destroyers moved onto this objective back here. And shooting went... my missions were... what was it?
Marked for Death and Area Denial.
Marked for Death and Area Denial. Marked for Death was all back things, like these the Noise Marines, these Tormentors, and
Infractors.
The Infractors behind the building. So shooting-wise, Silent King put all shots except for the indirect into the Armiger, brought it down to 1 wound. And 3 wounds. Yeah. And then I put the indirect into Lucius and did 1 wound to him. In the other shooting, the rest of the shooting, my warriors did only 3 wounds to the Demon Prince and 2 wounds to the Brigand.
Bring him down to 1.
To bring him down to 1. Illuminor Xeris rolled a 1 and 2 2s for his shots into the Brigand, which is classic Illuminor. My Wraiths did 2 mortals and 1 save got saved. And then in charging phase, Orkin went Super Saiyan. I spent 1 CP for +1 strength, +1 AP. I brought the Demon Prince down to 1. It was all warrior passed failed the last wound into him, and then Stefan used the blank a save, blanket damage. So he's alive on 1. The 5 warriors on that side did nothing to the Armiger. My Scorpack Destroyers charged in onto the Noise Marines on this side. Stefan spent a 1 CP to have the Demon Prince heroic within, doing 4 wounds on mortals, so killing 2 of the Scorpack Destroyers. I only did 2 wounds into the Noise Marines. He saved 1. Demon Prince beat the shit out of my Scorpacks. And my Silent King failed his 3-inch charge, so I rolled Snake Eyes. And then... the whole thing was that my plan was At Lucius at 5, I can tank shock with the Silent King, charge in with the Scorpec as well, and do mortals on the charge to try and kill him. We rolled it out after, and it, like, again, just kills Lucius. But I rolled a Snake Eyes on the charge on the Silent King. I didn't want to bring my Scorpec Lord into just Lucius himself, so he tried to get into these infractors. And I rolled a 5, so it's not far enough to get out of range of Lucius. So he failed, so they're both just sitting on the middle like sons of bitches. And yeah, we're just in a weird-ass spot where my go turn was like just a lot of putting everything onto one wound. So, yeah, that's great. I scored my air denial, I dropped Mark for Death, and we're off to EC turn 3. All right, we just finished Emperor's Chosen? Emperor's Children? Emperor's Children turn 3. Noise Marines basically just made an objective over here and are just chilling. Lucius came out and fought the Scorpack Lord. These guys advanced out of the building and only rolled a 1. Ended up charging into the Scorpack Lord, which he ended up dying. Lucius didn't get to go. Scorpack Lord resurrected. This Demon Prince rolled a 6 for his advance, so flew around this building and charged on my Scorpack Lord destroyers on this objective. Killed them. There was like, it came down to I just barely died. I spent 1 CP to reroll. I failed it again, and so that kills them. And then again, chasing dragon. Like if I had an extra reroll, they live, which is overwhelming force and the no prisoners, which is big.
And canceling your objective.
Yeah, Demon Prince fell back over here and charged it on the Reanimator. Did 4 wounds to it, and the Reanimator kicked it in the face. Only doing 2 wounds, and all Stefan had to do was not roll Snake Eyes. And of course, he rolls the Snake Eyes and dies.
After everything you put into that Demon Prince?
Yeah, a Reanimator kicky feet just puts it out.
Yeah.
In here, I did nothing to the Brigand. Brigand did 1 wound into Warriors. Rhino and stuff. Meltas killed 1. Min here. Takes the objective here, and yeah, I think we are off to Necron's turn 4. So we just finished Necron's turn 4. My missions were extend battle lines and no prisoners. I healed up my Min here to 2 wounds, and then the Technomancer moved up with the Wraiths to heal through the building, healing up my Silent King up to full. Wraiths moved across to try and put pressure onto this Demon Prince. My Warriors couldn't fall back because... Oh, no, they did end up falling back because I needed to just move my Warriors up out of this corner. I couldn't put down another zone. I only scored 5 on primary. The Command Barge also moved on to this middle part because I have Extend. Reanimator moved up. We killed the Brigand, and the Warrior shot down the Rhino. No. Oh, no. Yeah. Illuminor shot the Rhino.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Illuminor shot the Rhino, blew him. Yeah, Illuminor popped off this turn for his shots and just decided to say, go fuck yourself, Emperor's Children. This Scorpack Lord can eat a bag of dicks. He only healed 1 from his reanimation protocol, moved his 8. This 5-inch charge failed twice. Oh no, he failed it once. I very low on CP, so I couldn't roll it. I again chased the dragon, still failed. Again chased the dragon for a 3rd reroll if it happened, still failed. So it just was never going to happen that this guy charges into these guys. Silent King chose ignore modifiers to try and kill the Demon Prince. As you can see, he's still there. Both Min here shot him. I rolled a 1 to hit on one of my shots, and then my other wound was a 1. So again, chasing the dragon, if I rolled the rerolls of 1s, it actually both go through. He fails the 4-up invulns and just does 10 damage and kills him. So it's like, god damn it. The rerolls are just always better than ignore
Always
modifier.
Better. Always better.
Wraiths tried to go into him. Brought him down to 5 wounds. The Demon Prince back into the Wraiths only did 1 wound. And yeah, so I got my 3 points for no prisoner, or my 5 points for no prisoners, and my 5 points for extend. Other than that, I wish, this Scorpack to try and prevent primary failing me Just feels super bad. And we're off to EC turn 4. So we just finished Emperor's Children turn 4. The objectives you got were, what was it, Defend Stronghold and Cleanse.
Yeah.
Pretty good at this stage. You scored 15 for primary because you had my Scorpack Lord failing here got these guys that extra 5. So holding in all these for 15. What did you really do? You fell back with the Demon Prince and then charged into my Reanimator. Again. I heroic with my Wraiths to do something cheeky where when I piled in with my Wraiths, they could go towards the middle. Stefan then took Lucius and charged him in there, so to prevent me from doing so. This was also all discussed. It wasn't like making sure any gotchas were happening. With like, why did we do this sort of thing? These guys moved up to shoot at the Silent King, killing my men here and wounding him down to 2 wounds. Again, over here, these guys just cleansed. These guys cleansed. These guys stole the objective from me in the middle with 11 OC. In here, the Demon Prince only did 2 wounds to the Reanimator. Lucius decided to go sweeps so that he didn't kill enough Wraiths so I could resurrect onto the zone. So basically did nothing. I did 2 wounds in return to Lucius. Technically, I think I did 4, and then you feel no pain.
I feel no pain too, yeah.
So we are off to Necron's turn 5.
Yeah.
So we just finished Necron's turn 5. I got Sabotage and Recover Assets for my last mission. I only scored 10 points for holding the primary. In the shooting phase, I ended up killing this Demon Prince, who ended up getting back up with his leadership ability with 2 wounds left. My Lucius precisioned out my Technomancer, and I ended up killing 2 of my the Crypto Thralls, just so I can keep guys with OC on zones. My Warriors, I used my Res Orb on my Warriors to bring them up closer towards Stefan's unit, and then reanimated the other 2 guys to again make that like a 6-inch charge. So my Warriors made a charge onto steal that home objective, and then again pile in, or like some of them charged onto this objective because that brought them closer. Silent King shot and killed almost all of this unit, and then charged into the Noise Marines and this Lord, killing all the Noise Marines. So that's basically it. Lucius is alive on 1 or 2 wounds. The Demon Prince came up with 2 wounds. My Command Barge is recovering assets, and so is Illumina Zaris. And with the score being 69-69 going into this next turn, EC wins, but it depends on how much they win by. So we're off to Emperor's Children turn 5. So we just finished Emperor's Children turn 5. Stefan's rolled Assassination, Recover Assets. So, well, I guess it doesn't matter. We didn't check for Lucius's Battle Shock, but he fell back out of this combat and then made a charge into my Warriors. I overwatched with my Wraiths, and with my 18 shots, I did 0 wounds. Homie being up and alive, Stefan spent 1 CP to auto-pass his Battle Shock, and he recovered assets in my home field. Emperor, these guys over here recovered on this area, and these dudes walked back into their deployment zone and recovered here for the full 6 points, and Stefan scored 10 points from primary. Lucius made his like 7-inch charge and tried to precision out the Royal Warden. The Royal Warden ended up getting 6 wounds went through, and he made 4 of the 4-up invulns, and then rerolled one of them into another success, so he's alive on 1 wound. And basically at that point we just called it. Those are all the points that Stefan could have scored this turn anyway, so it comes out to an 85-69. Yeah,